Hey everybody, my name is Matt Klaskowski, and some pretty big news today. If you are an ON1 user, ON1 Photo 2018 is officially out. So it's been in beta where some people have been able to play around with the beta version over the last month, but the full version, full ready for the public, is out and available, and you can actually download a free trial and check it out. If you look in the description, there's a little link there. What I want to do in this video is kind of just give you a quick overview of the features. All right, I don't want to dive deep into anything. I'm figuring you're going to start to download this and just, if you're like me, I get something new and I just dive right in. So rather than go too deep into everything, I want to give you an overview of the features, what to look for. All right. Then over the next few weeks, I'll do some deeper looks into some of them. I actually have a big ON1 training system coming out in December. Stay tuned for that. But let's dive in here. So I think the first thing you'll see is some interface changes. It just kind of looks a little bit more slick. Everything is generally still in the same spot. The icons are updated. There is one really neat thing here. If you go into the preferences, everybody, what I found over the years is when you have an accent color in your software, everybody has an opinion on what that accent color should be. So what they did is they gave you a way to go in here and choose your accent color that you want. You can see I have mine set to orange. I usually go orange or blue. I know I'm not a University of Florida Gators fan, so it has nothing to do with that. I'm actually a USF, University of South Florida Bulls. So I say green or yellow, but no. Usually orange or blue here, but that's kind of some of your interface changes. I think the biggest changes are going to be HDR and panorama. So they're included directly in ON1 Photo 2018 now. So you don't have to jump over to another program to do it, and most importantly, you don't have to buy another program to do HDR. You have it built right in here. I won't go into them too deep other than to say, once you select 2 or more photos in your grid, you'll see the icons become available. You click on those icons, it'll just walk you through the process and actually let you do some editing to the photos, especially in the HDR section, right there after it does the merge. Okay, so those are probably the 2 biggest features. Now, another big feature, and a lot of people have requested this, is a lot of folks come from Lightroom where we have virtual copies. So ON1 has created something similar. It's called a version. In fact, whenever I teach it in Lightroom, I actually call it a version because that's really what it is. But what it does is if you come up here to the settings menu, you can create a version, which you're only going to see in ON1, and it's just a fake copy of your photo. And it lets you go in there and experiment a little bit on, to do something with the photo. And you have your original, and now you can go off on a different path with a version and kind of save multiple versions if you wanted to. All right, moving on down the line, masking has actually gotten a big boost here as well. So let's go click on a photo. I'm going to jump into effects. I think that's mostly where you'll see it, between effects and layers. And let's go ahead and add a filter here. I'm just going to add a black and white filter. Okay. Now, once I have my black and white filter layer here, I can click on the little mask icon. It opens up this whole new mask area, which I haven't added a mask yet, but if I were to go grab my masking brush here, and I could paint away the black and white, which I don't know that I'd normally make a selective color, but we'll do it in this photo. So I'll just go ahead and I'll paint it away a little bit in the sky up here. Okay. So you can look at the mask. You can see that I've kind of hidden part of that filter layer. Well, now there's a density slider, which will let you adjust the opacity of the mask. So I can go over here and bring down the density, and you can see it fades the mask that I just added to this. And then feather will blur the edges of the mask. You can watch. If you look, you'll see it right up here too. As I increase feather, you'll see it fades those edges in. So especially on tricky selections, that little feather can save your butt because it'll fade in the edges and not make them look so harsh sometimes. All right, so that's our masking improvements. And then another big one is if you go up here to the mask menu, you will see create luminosity mask, which is not new, but it's been updated. So it actually works a lot better. It was actually a lot more refined in how it's going to create that luminosity mask. So those are your big masking changes here. Let's go ahead and reset that. And then the last one, I'm going to jump into develop. The last one's going to be with the adjustment brush. So ON1's had an adjustment brush in Photo Raw since the beginning. And you would go in, I could take my exposure down if I wanted to, and I could go, I could paint part of the photo darker. But what they've also included is noise reduction on the brush. And that's actually the way I do most of my noise reduction, because I usually only have a part of the photo. Like the part of the photo that's in deep shadows is usually where I want to reduce the noise. I don't want to blur my whole photo, which is what noise reduction does. I don't want to blur my whole photo just to reduce noise in a small area. I usually paint it out of whatever areas that I wanted. So now that you have that included in the brush, you can go in and just paint your noise reduction on the parts of the photo that you need it. Okay, so there's kind of your quick overview, guys. Again, there is a free 30-day trial. If you check the description, there's a link to it down there. You can go and you can try it out. Stay tuned. I got lots more training and diving deeper into some of the features here. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.